Hello, let's talk about domain optimization. My name's Ken Carroll. I'm with Integris Design. I'm one of the co-founders of Integris, and I'm also one of the guys that you'd be working with directly when you come to us and enjoy the wonders of our company. So, I want to talk to you about domain names. I was doing some consultation with the third party, and they brought their SEO guy in, and he made some cursory decisions about domain names, and I was like, wow, I really just have to kind of clarify some things. I couldn't do it in that session, so you're my vent. So first of all, what is a domain name, right? A domain name is integrisdesign.com. It doesn't mean that's where your website's hosted. It doesn't mean that's where your email's at. Basically, you are reserving that available name for you, and that's all you're doing. So a registrar just kind of puts it in your name and reserves it on your behalf. So it does not tie into your hosting. It does not tie into your email. It's just something that points to those things. So keep that in mind, that just because you buy your domain at GoDaddy, you do not have to use GoDaddy hosting. Yes, there are people who do think that. So let's talk about what's going on here. Number one in my tip, and by the way, I'll have the link on the newsletter so you can read this. I enjoy all my typos, by the way, but hey, it's COVID time and we're loose, right? So domain tip number one, no one likes typing forever. You got to keep your domain short, okay? So supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.com is not a good domain name. Keep it under 15 total characters, ladies and gentlemen. 12 characters is typically what's more preached in the domain world, but 15 is a good number. Your domain is not a spelling bee. Do not use the word deceive. Do not use supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Do not use words that are hard to spell or hard to pronounce. The reason being is you're going to find yourself having to reiterate that either verbally, or you're going to have people that are going to different pages, or you're going to be having to buy domain names with all the typographical errors to make sure you get people. There's just tons and tons of issues with it. Keep it simple. So that's your next thing. Avoid these dashes. What I mean by that is you want to avoid hyphens and underscores. Don't do my business dash inc. Don't do business dash whatIdo.com. Don't do the dashes or the underscores. And don't listen to any SEO guys telling you, oh, this is a great domain name, you got to get the dash. Don't do that as your primary domain, at least. There are a couple of exceptions, but they're way over here in left field, and so let's keep them in left field. Do not do those things. .com is still king. That's true. .tour, .this, .me, .mobi, .biz, .whatever. You know, there's all these what they're known as. They're called TLDs basically, and but .com is still the one that carries the most weight with people. People trust it. It feels like that you're more stable and you've been around longer. So dig a little deeper, work a little harder, but get your .com domain name, and avoid the .biz. Sorry, you .biz people. I even picked on you in writing as well. Next up, chasing the SEO holy grail. SEO is a very complex issue. Matter of fact, Google on their own website frowns upon intentionally performing search engine optimization. That's for another session. But there are things that you can do to help gain your reputation with Google. First thing you can do is renew your domain for the maximum amount of time. If your SEO guy recommends buying your domain name 1 year at a time, that should be a flag. Next thing up is make sure that you are privatizing your domain name. Reason being is Google and other search engines, etc., also have the same access to registrars. And if you don't trust your business to be open in 10 years, to renew it for 10 years, then they're not going to look at you as reputable as those companies that do have faith. So splurge the extra $100, renew it for the maximum amount of time, privatize it. If nothing else, you're going to thank me, because you're not going to get those calls from all those people saying, we noticed you bought a domain name and we want to build your website for you. So we want to avoid those things. All right, so another tip is you can get domains where someone else has done the work. So the idea is when you're working on a domain name, you get links from other sites that point to your site. And there's like a lot of stuff that goes into building a domain. Well, if you go to expireddomains.net, what you can do is you can look up based on keywords, and you can find out like how many backlinks a domain has. You can find out a bunch of stuff, and then you can buy those domains and put them in action for your business. Now this is kind of cool because we have grown businesses from ground zero by grabbing domains that have a lot of links coming into them. And then what we do is we have this instant traffic. And so we look like, we're like superheroes. And in reality, we're using this simple trick to just get a good domain with a lot of backlinks, and they're naturally clicking from those websites into the website, and they're oblivious to the fact that it has a new owner. So that's kind of a big one. You may have to get creative. .coms, .orgs, they've been around, forever and a day. Not only are they bought by companies, but they're also bought by your friendly neighborhood domain harvester who likes keeping them, buying them for $8 and then reselling them for huge amounts of money to pay for their big mortgages and their big houses. I'm not condemning them for doing it, but it does make things more difficult for businesses to get a good domain name. So if you jump over to namemesh.com, you can just Google like domain name generators. What this does is you basically type in 2 or 3 words, and then what it does is comes up with all these variations of domain names that you may want to be able to get. It's kind of cool. So there's a lot of those kind of services out there. And so again, when you're reading it, make sure if it's meshing 2 words together, make sure that you don't see like a new word being formed in the middle of it. Like pay attention, like if the word bad or some other negative keyword is actually formed in there, you probably don't want to go with that. So be observant, play a little bit of word search as you're looking at those domain names. Number 8, own it or share it with those that don't deserve it. So a lot of times, you may have your heart set on a name, right? And so what you're going to do is you're going to look and you're going to see that .com is taken. And so what you do is you create a variation of it. And so when you do it, the problem is that the person who's got the good spelling and the good way, he's going to get a lot of your traffic because people are going to Google you by your name. And guess what? That guy's going to get a lot of traffic that's undeserved. He didn't have to work for it. He's just getting it. And so make sure that you own the name. Make sure that name can be wholly owned by you, and don't get like with the letter S attached to the end of it or something like that. Anyway, that's pretty important in my opinion. It's all about winning. Okay, guys, domain names. Okay, great. We got our domain name. We got our 12 characters. We've got this. But at the end of the day, a domain name is a tool. A website is a tool. Facebook is a tool. They're all just tools to help you grow your business, right? And so we use domains in a lot of different ways. So you got your branded domain name, but then we may also get domain names like reviewthisbusiness.com or something like that, because that's easier to remember. And so what we do is if we're using something on a billboard or something in some other places, sometimes we'll use a quicker, snazzier, I can't really use that word, but I did, a domain name that is easy to remember. And then what they do is they can then, they can get to that website easier because they don't have to remember the name of your business. They can just remember a catchphrase. So remember, you want to use domain names, and you can point multiple domain names to different pages, different website, your Facebook page, your review page, whatever you want to do. You can get kind of crazy with this. Just stay reasonable at the same time. All right, so that kind of buttons this up. Now, the last thing is we are here. So if you like what I'm saying and you want to work with me, I'd love to work with you. We do have limited seating. We're a niche firm. I've been in business for over 25 years in marketing and design. I've earned every single wrinkle. And so what we can do is help you out with virtually any of your needs digitally. And we also have recently added a live guaranteed web design session where you can work with me directly to create your brand new website. I know you have to deal with me, but if you like the idea of doing it, if you like torturing yourself, then jump on in. I'd love to work with you and help you grow your business. Thank you so much for letting me talk to you today. I really do appreciate that. We look forward to talking to you, meeting with you, and we hope that these tips do help you out. Bless you, be safe, and get back on it. This thing's not going to last forever, and there's going to be a lot of businesses who are going to come out on top. So best of luck to you. And God bless.